You too. What's good, your boy? Everything water and water is everything. My familia. Hey man, the new DLC dropped. The final shape is here, and I got you a prismatic hunter build that is insane. We're gonna do a lot of meleeing. We're gonna do a lot of crazy stuff. We're gonna get the dragon's breath just to get to clear out the enemies. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to go 1-2 punch, but we're not using the shotgun. We're just gonna be punch, punch, punch. You get what I'm saying? But if I like this type of video, man, please leave a like and subscribe. And it's your boy Everything Water. And water is everything. My familia. Let's get right into this video. Alright, starting off with our exotic armor, we're going to be using the Liar Handshake. Now, the Liar Handshake's perk is using your arc melee ability or being hit by a melee attack will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful and melee counterpunch that will heal you. Now, this counterpunch is really good, especially with combination blow, which we're going to be using for our melee. Then we're going to be able to stack that to 3 times and be able to get that like 30 to 50k punch, man. It's insane, and it heals you after every punch. You don't need a final blow for that heal to happen. But with Prismatic, man, this basically turns into the assassin's cowl and you're able to freeze enemies, man. It's insane. So with an add-on to this, man, we're gonna be using for our aspect stylish executioner and winter shroud. Now these two aspects with prismatic hunters is insane, probably the best combination you can ever have with this melee build. It really takes the Liar Handshake above Assassin's Cowl to the next level, man, because that you don't need the Assassin's Cowl with the Lion's Handshake now, because with these two aspects, you know, stylish executioner, defeating a target affected by any elemental debuff grants invisibility, and an elemental debuff like slow, freeze. And your other aspect, we're going to be using Winter Shroud. Dodging slows nearby enemies, slowing targets briefly increase your class regeneration. Now you guys need to understand how insane this is, because now we have two ways, which is Dust Field Grenade and Winter Shroud, to where we're going to be able to debuff enemy, freezing them, slowing them, and that's going to be proc and stylish execution. Now we're going to be going invisible after every melee final blow. It's insane. So now we get what Assassin's Cowl does for us, being able to debuff more enemies, freezing them, doing extra damage on them too because they're frozen, and then having the Liar's Handshake's punch counter cross, you know, that does insane damage. This is the best melee build in the game right now. Prismatic hunters are broken. Like, I don't know what Bungie was thinking, combining these two aspects with Liar's Handshake. Like, you don't need Assassin's Cowl anymore, like Crown anymore. Honest truth, you really don't. Liar's Handshake is now the best solo, probably the best solo exotic for hunters right now. With this fix, well, only when using prismatic hunters, obviously. So yeah, that's really good with the Liar's Handshake. But now we're going to be going to our exotic weapon. All right, for our exotic weapon, I'm going to be using the Dragon's Breath. Now you guys are probably like, oh, why don't you use any other exotic? Which is understandable. Dragon Breath to me just does what I needed to do, especially when I'm low as health and I don't feel like going into the melee, because you do got to have a startup. Once you get that ×3 combination, that's when you really become unkillable. But if you don't stack that up, especially in like harder contents, you will die. And I feel like the Dragon's Breath just gives me that range too. It's so versatile because it affects all the enemies around while doing good damage at the same time, giving you super energy too. So that's good, man. Just being able to just take out any ads just by shooting this at the ground, and it just good with crowd control. That's why I'm using the Dragon's Breath, and I recommend anybody to use it. Even after this DLC, Dragon Breath is still one of the best weapons in the game. So yeah, now we're gonna get into the build. Let's get it. Now, starting off with the prismatic build, we're gonna be using the Storm Edge build. Now, if you want to use Silence and Squeal, which is really good too, I prefer both of these for this exact build. But Storm Edge is really cool, being able to teleport, doing a really good damage, teleport again or blink, you know, it's really cool. If you watch Naruto, you know, he's more like a Minato. He throws his flying thunder god, you teleport, attack. It's really cool. So I really like the super. And then also one of our transcendents, we're going to be using Hellfire Spike. It's the only grenade we have. Is really good because it's combined with stasis and solar. So that's really cool aspect too that they have with prismatic. Dodge, obviously Gamer Dodge, want to be able to have infinite melee, and then combination blow. obviously we got to get that. Then we're going to use a Dust Field Grenade. This is going to be able to slow enemies, also going to be able to proc one of the aspects, Stylish Executioner, which defeating the target affects by any elemental debuff grants invisibility and insight. So that's really good, cool, because it does feel slows and freezes the enemy, which is the debuff. So you're gonna be able to proc that. Then Winter Shroud just also does the same thing as the Dust Field Grenade, but not as fast. But because we're gonna be using like handshake and punching and doing a lot of melee, Winter Shroud is insane. These two aspects are broken combined. It's really, I don't know. Again, I don't know what Bungie was thinking. They're crazy. Now we're going to get into our fragments. The Face of Courage, your arc, solar, and void abilities do increase damage to targets afflicted with darkness debuff. We're also using Face of Hope. While you have elemental buff, your class ability regens more quicker, so that's really cool. We're also using Face of Protection. While you're surrounded by combatants, you are more resilient to incoming damage while transcended. This effect increase. This is going to be good too, because again, this is a melee build, so you're going to be all around punching, doing a lot of light handshake damage. So you want to be able to be more resistant as possible in this aspect. I mean, this fragment gives that to us. We're also going to be using the Face of the Blessing. Melee final blow starts health regeneration while transcendent. Melee final blow starts health regeneration for you and thereby allies. This is actually pretty broken because we're going to be killing a lot of enemies with melee. That's the whole build. So we're going to have a lot of final blows, so that's going to proc health regeneration. When we go transcendent, which is pretty cool, now our teammates going to be constantly healed, so you're really going to have like a good, you know, unkillable team. Which is really cool. And last but not least, we're going to be using the Face of Purpose. Picking up overpowered grants either amplified, restoration, frost armor, woven metal, or overshield based on your damage type. And because we're using the edge, the storm edge, we're going to be using arc, so we're going to get amplified. So we're going to be running around just being extra fast, doing our thing. But yeah, that's it for this build. For our stats, as you can see, I'm at tier 9 mobility, max resilience, and max discipline. Honestly, if I can switch it, which I can't, but I'm trying to, like, my build is almost triple 100. So but I would go max mobility, then resilience, and then the discipline and everything else, whatever you want to do after that. We don't really need too much recovery. You do, but with all these healing ways, with the Lion's Handshake being able to heal, the Orbs of Powers being able to heal, and then with the Face of the Blessing being able to heal, we're going to be doing a lot of recovering. So that's, you don't really need too much on that when you're already going to be doing that with the whole build. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna give you guys a video at the end. It's your boy Everything Water, and water is everything, my familia. I'm out.